Slick Tar Heaven. She sang at the Pickup Sticks on Fridays. Saturdays were usually a no-show, although she was always billed. Sam the janitor would shut up at 2 a.m. with the last of the stragglers seeping through the double doors like rainwater. An empty stage, a lone microphone, and a whole lot of not talking about her, the only things going down between liquor drinks and hotel key transactions. Those were the bad nights. Sometimes she'd show up at 12 o'clock and struggle through a few numbers, off-key, but still sweet and smoky. The band blending in nondescript, but still mirroring how gone she was. 5 years ago, I fell in love with her. I was at the Sticks for the first time with a girl, and damn, she looked good. I was drawn into her like a baby to his mama's breast. The way she slid through each scale as if she were letting the music drive her in a long white limousine to a Black Sabbath. She was wearing a red silk number she must have been born in, and my bourbon sat untouched beside me, along with my date. I sat transfixed in a prism, her sea of sound flowing around me, all the colors radiating from her sable throat, transforming to black and white, fear and faith, love and pain. She and me. I became a believer. She was my religion. I started showing up every Friday night around 7, buying a Maker's Mark and a pack of something to smoke in the downtime before she came on stage. I'd sit there in the front row, gazing at a worn picture of her that I always propped against my glass until she arrived. Hell, there really was no front row, but I made my lone table the foremost point. In the linear perspective blackness she'd semi-see behind the lights. When the bass started thumping through the first number, her thick hips swaying a little to the beat, her overused and blue-tracked left arm rising to the mic while she slowly swept the lone curl from her forehead, and Slick Tar Heaven began escaping from her lips, I fell farther into her arms and away from the sunlight. 7 months of secret worship. Expectant and lonely work weeks. Lonelier small hours and stolen glances had passed when I asked Sam if she was seeing anyone. He only smiled, cigarette between gold teeth, and said, "Yeah, boy, she's seeing somebody. The devil. If you want her number, though, I'll throw her a bone." I waited anxiously till her last set was over, and Sam winked slyly, although I thought I saw him sigh as he snuck up to her and pointed me out. She looked through faraway eyes, out to where I sat, her almond-brown orbs piercing the gloom, and revealing the sweat running down my temples, and a spent Cadillac trembling in my hand. She laughed. Then she winked at Sam, shifted her hips, swept that fishhook curl from her forehead, and left out the back door. I was stunned. After a long, downcast stare into my lap and several minutes of self-doubt, Sam came up to me and said simply, "Hot Spot Motel, room number 8, 20 minutes. She wants 100, but if you want it real bad, I'd make it 2. Sam held out his open hand and cocked his right eye as he leaned on his broomstick waiting for a 20 spot. I slipped him a Franklin, and he left me snickering through his $1,000 teeth, sweeping a pile of spent sin off into the background and shaking his head a little from side to side as he muttered, "Yeah, yo kind always want it real bad." After a quick once-over with some pomade and cannabis santal in the men's room, I got down on my knees and prayed against the lone cold toilet that I'd not screw this up. I began with a few Hail Marys, but by the time I was done, I was humming her tune. I got up off my knees, checked my slim tie and the broken mirror, and left the sticks for the hot spot. I showed up in 19 minutes flat and ran, half a man, looking for door number 8, up a flight of stairs and down a narrow, lonely bulb hallway into the fading light past rooms 6 and 7, and thwack! Into a steel pipe wielded by 2 massive, black suit-clad arms. As I lay on the floor, numb at first, and then in agony, my nose crushed, my eyes crossed, and blood coursing down my face, she stood over me for a moment, her stiletto heels framing my sides with red leather. She bent down slowly, her ebony hair caressing my ears, my blood tinging the tips as she brushed away her steel-wielding shadow. She lingered what seemed an eternity, her hot breath and cold eyes close now, and her lipstick slick like wax over my lips, her tongue now between my teeth, and she kissing me deeply, driving home my subjection with each thrust, and grasping my fear-hardened cock tightly with her hand, squeezing me till my ears mixed with the blood, making me swim in sex and despondency. While she had me, she slid her free hand into my pocket and relieved me of $3,000, my wallet, my keys, my cologne, and her photograph. She bit my lip once again, and then whispered a phrase like a diamond in my ear, one that I will never forget till the last drop of dirt seals the deal. Darling, love is a losing game. After another quick squeeze and what I thought was a fleeting shade of sadness on her face, she took Mr. Steel Pipe's hand and disappeared into the periphery forever, her hard laughter like smoke dissipating in the cold night.